Hello, welcome to the Invest in Value channel. I am Victor. In this video, I'm going to cover Chevron, the big oil company. My first job out of college was working for an oil company that was acquired by Chevron, and I was an accountant. And I got to know the oil industry firsthand by doing all the accounting. And that information has served me well. I've been a Chevron stockholder ever since, coming up on 28 years. And my position in Chevron is the number one position in my portfolio. A big part of it is the change in oil prices that we've seen over the last 2 years has been really dramatic, and I was able to play that in my favor. Let me go over what I'm looking for in an investment and how I'm going to score Chevron. First, I want a discount on investment. I don't want to buy at fair price. I want to buy at a discount so I can see that my investment is going to grow in value. I want to know that the company is operating and performing well, and I want to know that the timing is right to buy. Sometimes we have great companies, but it's the wrong time to buy. Let's take a look at Chevron and see how it scores. So you probably know Chevron from going to their gasoline stations and filling up, but they are a fully integrated oil company. They go out and explore and find where the oil is. They drill holes in the earth, extract that oil, and bring it to market. They refine that product, they transport it, yet also sell big contracts to big companies like Southwest Airlines buys their jet fuel in advance. So that is supply and trading that they're doing. They definitely sell at their gasoline stations. That's their products and services. And they also sell lubricants, the oil that goes in our cars, and lubricants that go in machines and in factories and so forth. And last, a lot of their products also go into the chemical industry. So Chevron provides raw materials to the chemical companies that, we can think of when you look at your laptop or computer. That black plastic, that was based on, some materials that were extracted from oil. So that's Chevron, a fully integrated, one of the major oil companies on the planet. Looking at Chevron's stock price over the last 5 years, it's done okay. At 53% over 5 years, it's been really nice. It's been excellent if you started buying in the 2020 timeframe. Back here when COVID hit, oil prices actually went below zero because there was no storage available for the oil that was being produced or extracted. It had no place in the marketplace. So it was a really strange event when it went negative. So oil prices were hovering around $30 per barrel, and that caused share prices to really collapse. I bought a significant amount of shares in Chevron. I also bought a significant amount of shares in Exxon, which I sold in late 2021. And that event happened. It was a great time to buy into oil companies. Now it's really jumped up in price. And let me take a look at the 1 year. The past year, it's run up nicely, and recently has really had a good rally, which is very well received because as you know, the S&P index is down more than 12% year to date, and energy has been one of those industries that's bucked that trend and actually gone up favorably in the year to date. So I'm glad that I've got Chevron, glad that I put a significant amount back in 2020, and it really played out well. Here's how I value Chevron. I use an intrinsic value calculator. I really focus on free cash flows, which is the number one metric that I look at as I value a company. Chevron produces high free cash flows, and I used, their 2021 free cash flow as a starting point for my model. My model takes 20 years of free cash flows that we expect. We're going to grow those free cash flows on year 2, 3, 4, and 5 at 15%, and then year 6 through 20 at 5%. Year 1 is just a do-over of 2021, which is very realistic and very conservative. A discount rate of 7%, which is a little bit high. Chevron, it has a great balance sheet, plenty of cash. They're actually trying to figure out how they can return that capital back to investors. But I want to be conservative. I'm going to go 7%. If I use those variables, I get an intrinsic value for the whole company of $455 billion. Their current market cap is $318 billion. So there is a difference in what they're worth, in my mind, to their market cap. The difference is 74%. you have a discount on Chevron stock of 74%. It's being traded at $133 a share, but my model says that they're worth more in the neighborhood of $231 per share. Looking at Chevron's performance in 2021, it was excellent. They were coming off of 2020 that was a brutal year for them, but they grew 64.7% on the top line. Their PE currently is 19.9, a little bit high, but they're very profitable. They generated in 2021 $21 billion of free cash flow, which produces a 7% yield of free cash flow from their market cap. Dividend currently is 3.51. In 2022, they just had their earnings and they grew their Q1 revenue by 69%. So year over year, just looking at that quarter, grew almost 70%. Their Q1 free cash flow is 6.1 billion. Great growth on free cash flow. If you just compare that quarter in 2022 to Q1 of 2021, 59% growth. So just awesome numbers. And their net income quadrupled, 4x, awesome. So the stock has some upside and it has a very good dividend. More importantly, I think the downside probability is very low, meaning this stock is probably going to show us some stability in 2022, 2023, because there's just a constant upside. Oil prices are above $100 a barrel. And from what I read, if an oil company has oil prices at $60 a barrel, they are profitable. Everything comes together for them. At $100 a barrel, it's just such an advantageous situation for oil companies. So we're going to have a constant, upside trend to Chevron and very little downside probability. I'm going to add shares to my large position. As a matter of fact, I already bought shares today and will continue to buy shares on dips because this is just a very good dividend payer. It has a long future and a very profitable future. So scorecarding Chevron, you can definitely get a discount currently, and especially if you find a dip to buy into Chevron. They're very well operated and they're performing exceptionally well. So this is Chevron. You can argue, who's better, Chevron or Exxon. I happen to, like Chevron because I worked there and their name used to be on my paychecks. But all that aside, I believe their management team is the best in the industry. And their performance in 2021 is evidence of that. The timing is very good. There are very few options in 2022 where you can make a very good return. Energy's been one of those options that has worked. I believe it's the #1 industry sector to have been invested in. I think there is additional upside left in this space. Please keep in mind this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not recommending you buy Chevron or any other stock or security. I like to share my experience as I invest in stocks. In this case, I'm an investor in Chevron, and I hope you found it interesting. Thank you for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do me a favor and hit that like button. Consider subscribing to my channel and hit that bell if you want to be notified when I create a new video. Good luck investing in 2022.